Hey everybody, it's OMAD Caroline. We got to say our final goodbyes to Rick today. So Rick is no longer in pain and dealing with this cancer, but he's gonna be so missed. So I wanted to jump on a little bit and tell you about Rick. So I met Rick 11 years ago, and I actually met him at work, and Rick was a very high-level manager, facility manager at one of the big automotive plants, and I actually was a contractor that worked for that automotive plant, and I used to travel around. I was a floating manager, so when managers went on vacation at these, manufacturing facilities, I would go in and cover their vacations. So it was kind of a really crappy job, pretty high stress, because, the managers I was covering, I was lucky to get 1 or 2 days to get me up to speed to be able to run the show, and they would be off, and a lot of times they were off, on a cruise or something where they're not easy to contact, so I just had to kind of figure things out. But I went into a lot of facilities, you guys, like a lot, and usually it was just a very high stress and miserable job, and usually got my butt chewed a lot, and they, one thing about manufacturers, a lot of times they don't treat their contractors with the utmost respect. They expect a lot and they want it done, timely or actually quickly. But I walked into the plant that Rick was managing, and I walked in there and was trained for like a day, and I started covering, and it was actually a holiday weekend. So when they run lines on a holiday weekend, they're paying like double, triple time to the people that are working the line. So when the line goes down, that's like a lot of money getting thrown. You're paying people while they're sitting waiting for it to get back up. And this particular weekend, it was like the manager left, I'm in charge, and all of a sudden I get a call, and there's a big flood on one of the lines. The line is shut down, and I was responsible for getting it cleaned up and getting all the water out of there so the skilled tradesmen can get in there and fix what needs to be fixed. And it was just really stressful. And in any other plant, if I was dealing with this situation, man, I would be getting my ass chewed the whole time and talking about how I'm costing the plant so much money, and I need to move, and I need to get this shit done, Excuse my language, coming back to my manufacturing lifestyle, I think. But Rick didn't know me from Adam, and he was in charge, and I remember he was probably the only facilities manager over, he was in charge of all the skilled trades and stuff, but he treated me so kindly, even with this real high-stressed situation, and, he was very supportive, and he was more of like, we're a team, and what can we do to get this done, and very supportive, and just, he was just an all-around really kind man with good character in a high-level job in which you don't see that, and I just think his belief, his core belief, a lot of us, we go to church and we live a certain way, when we're in our little, Christian bubble or whatever religious bubble we're in when we're around our fellow believers. But a lot of times it doesn't roll into our real world living. And I have to admit, I became a pretty high level manager, and I guarantee there are a lot of people who would be shocked to know that I have some really core religious beliefs because of how I handled some situations. I was, mother effing this and mother effing that, or going off on people. So that was one thing. Rick's character was just, he was so authentic, and he was just a really amazing and good man. So when Ted moved out of skilled trades and into engineering, it's probably about 6 years ago, that's when he started really getting to know Rick. He actually was in the plant, and then we had the opportunity to create a very good friendship with him, and got to see his life outside of the plant. And like I said, he was the same wonderful man in all aspects of his life. So there's a lot to be said about that, And he impacted the world for good. He loved people, he really loved people. And his goal was to make other people's life as easy as he could, so, and I'm just telling you, at the level of management, that he was, you don't see that, you don't see that very often. And then, I'm very thankful that we created a friendship. His wife Shar is amazing. The love they had was such a good example of what a marriage should look like. So I just wanted to share a little bit about Rick, and and how much I am really gonna miss him in my life, and how much of a blessing he was to all of us while we're here. And then the legacy he has left is just amazing. But just wanted to jump on here and just share it with you guys, my thoughts on my friend Rick. He's really gonna be missed. I may take a little time off, you guys, from the YouTube thing,